we're talking with Pam. Pam, you're with Allworth Money Matters.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, Pam.
Hi, Pam.
Hi. My question is, we're getting ready to retire next year. And so my husband is still working. I'm running our portfolio. I took that over about last year. And we've got about a million and a half just over $1 million in there. And we own our home. We also own a commercial property, which is worth about $100,000. But my question is, how much, like this year, we have a wedding, our daughter's wedding. We have vehicles that need to be replaced. And my question is, and like trucks are expensive. And my question is, how much can you take out and safely go into retirement next year with, we will have, we're Canadian, so we have, he will have pensions from the government, but we were business owners. So there's my question.
Pam, how old are you?
I am 61. I'll be 62 here.
And your husband is same age, ballpark?
My husband's 63. He'll be 64 this year.
And you said you had business owners. Was the business sold, or is the business just going to be wound down?
Yeah, we sold it about 5 years ago.
And has he been working back in the business, or?
Yes, he has. Yeah.
And then the plan is to retire next year.
That's right.
And do you work outside the home, or you retired?
No, I trade stock.
Wow. How much is your income now?
We made about 106 last year.
And is that in wage, or is that counting your portfolio?
That was I made about 60 in my portfolio.
Okay, and so his wage was essentially $45,000.
That's right.
Okay,
45.
And what kind of and I'm not familiar with the Canadian Social Security system. What kind of retirement income
Pension?
would be there? Yeah.
Yeah, so CPP and OAS is what he would get next year.
And how much will that be on an annual basis?
Probably, I think, if I looked at it, I think he's maxed out, so he's probably around maybe $1,500, maybe about $1,800 a month. I think I worked it out to maybe $29,000 a year if he's maxed. So somewhere in there.
So we're going from essentially from $46,000 wage to $29,000.
That's right.
And how much? Go ahead. How much do you spend?
We spend about $70,000 a year.
Okay. So you have to make up about $41,000 a year?
Yeah.
And that's before taxes?
Yeah. And I've got dividends, but I also have growth, and I'm buying and selling, right? So.
And what do you expect your return will be the next decade with your $1 million?
Well, I'm hoping, we've got a good market rate now. My return rate now is around 19% I'm making overall with my RSP, TFSA, and investment. That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, but what do you expect the next decade? And do you expect any other downturns to come in the future?
Well, of course. Yeah, the market always takes its downturn. So that I'm not sure about because I haven't hit that yet. I've seen it happen in 2000, when COVID hit.
How much do you have in stocks versus fixed income?
I'm about, probably right now, I'm about 70% in stock.
Okay.
I mean, so if you stated that we need to make $41,000 a year off our $1 million, I'd say
$1.5 million.
Is it a million or a million? Is it 1.5 million Canadian, a million US? Is that?
Oh, well, yeah, that's.
It's Canadian.
Is it 1.5 or is it 1?
I'm just over 1.1 actually.
Oh, I thought it was 1.5. Okay.
So, I mean, if just kind of a rule of thumb that is kind of talked about a lot in the industry is a 4% withdrawal rule. And that what that really says is if you retire and you take 4% off your portfolio and you adjust that each year with inflation and you ignore other outside factors. Right? So that always continues. So that's just kind of sometimes as advisor, we'll just kind of look, first glance, does it kind of follow that? You follow that, no problem there. The concern, when you first started, you said you need to replace 2 homes and you have a wedding. Now, hopefully you won't have another wedding for that daughter in the future, but you will need new cars again.
Yes, and we're right there right now.
I mean, at your age, odds are at least one of you is going to be alive into your 90s, so you might need
several cars.
Yeah, between now and that time.
How much will these cost now? How much do you need to pull out?
Okay, so a truck about almost 60,000. A car probably over 40, 45 maybe. So over 100,000.
And the wedding?
And a wedding. Well, we know how that goes.
Well, no, they're they can be all over the place.
Yeah. Are you Taylor Swifting it, or what are you doing?
No,
Jeff Bezos.
I'd love to be able to Taylor Swift it, but right now we're probably in for about 20,000 on the wedding at this point.
So 125. And do you have to pay? Is this in a retirement account, this 1.1 million, or is it just in a brokerage account?
Well, about 500,000 is in retirement and TFSA, and the rest is in investment account and cash.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be a little tight.
That's what I was thinking. It's tight.
Because although you've made 19%, we're in a great bull market, right? And the stock market's gone up.
Yeah.
But if you look historically, the stocks have returned about 6 or 7 percentage points above that of the rate of inflation. Mm-hmm. And then if you think add a little fixed income in your portfolio you can't have everything in stocks in case there's a down year and you need your income, right? So, I mean, I would think a kind of a comfortable long-term growth assumption would be a 7% return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we've been around long enough that there was a study done of individual investors. Like, what do you think the market's going to be do over the next 10 years in 2000? And they said, 30% a year. And you know what it ended up being? Like the S&P 500, 0 for the next 10 years, no return.
Right.
A little bit of dividends. But the index went nowhere for a decade.
Nowhere.
The last decade.
So you never know, and just when everybody's as bullish as you can imagine, it can turn on you. So a lower expected return is much more reasonable, especially 70-30, where you're talking about 70% equity. So it's just tight. You're talking about pulling out maybe 5%, or a little bit higher, right? If you take out 125,000 from 1.1 million, it's tight.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. That's why I had this question. Is like, I'm thinking going forward, are we, not ready for this yet?
You're kind of setting yourself up for a potential problem.
And one of my concerns as well, Pam, is there's that old saying, don't confuse a bull market with brilliance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and when the market's going up, I remember you brought up year 2000. I remember meeting with someone in the January of 2000. They were bragging about how well they did on trading their tech stocks.
Yep.
And they said, I made 77% last year trading tech stocks, 77%, Scott. And I said, oh, well, the NASDAQ index was up 85%. So had you just bought the tech index, you could have, stayed on the beach all year and you would have made more money than trading. Yeah. So when the market goes up, if we're trading, you do enough trades, you're going to end up with similar market returns, just because that's the nature of things.
Right.
If you were my sister, I'd say, Pam, I think it'd be important to have at least have a financial advisor in your corner if you're not ready to hire one now, but because you're going to go through a rough patch. There will be a downturn.
Yeah.
There will be.
Bear
that I
markets
know.
come in a bear market. A 20% decline comes historically about every 3.5 years, and they're often longer durations than the ones we've experienced thus far. So we had Liberation Day
A
recently.
month, 2 months. Yeah.
COVID was super short-lived as well.
yeah.
But if you go back to other ones, they could last
3-4 years.
before you hit new highs again.
Yeah. So one thing you could think of is working a little bit longer, having your husband work a little longer, or see if you could live on less. I mean, those are some of the arrows in your quiver that you could use if you really want to retire next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be really careful this next decade to not take more than 4% of that portfolio.
I agree, especially when you're tight.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds really reasonable. And that's pretty much where I was at. But I wanted to ask the question because it's like, when you're going to take money out, you're like, and you got to take money out, right? To live.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
And it's an interesting, when you go from all these years of having a paycheck or income from your business and you're putting money into your savings, suddenly you're going to, there's no income coming in. And now you're not putting money into your savings account, you're pulling money out.
Yeah. It's a whole different game. The fear factor is much higher.
Yes. And now oftentimes people have time to sit and look online and watch the portfolio all day long.
You ever watch CNBC in a down market, your stomach just comes out. It's horrible.
Of course, it's all the headlines
It's horrible.
are horrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
All right, Pam, we wish you well.